Afraid of AI? It's already all around you. There's been a growing awareness of artificial intelligence lately. On one hand, I'm glad to see this awareness increasing. On the other, it's important to realize that AI is just a symptom of a deeper, more fundamental shift in how we organize society. Since the widespread adoption of the internet, we've restructured many aspects of our daily lives. Nearly every service, whether medical appointments, banking, travel, or job applications, now requires some form of online interaction. You often need to fill out digital forms, speak with a bot, or navigate automated customer service before you can even access what you're looking for. Over the past 2 decades, our lives have become increasingly entwined with technology. Many organizations, both public and private, now operate using linear, step-based processes, most of which are executed or enforced by software. While these systems can simplify our lives, they also come with a downside. They discourage critical and creative thinking. Access to services today largely depends on automated, process-based decision-making. Take job applications, for example. An algorithm often determines whether your resume gets seen by a human. Or banking. Your credentials are checked by digital systems to assess whether you qualify. Even in medicine, decisions about treatment are often dictated by established protocols, leaving less room for individual judgment. On top of that, complex laws and regulations have been embedded into these systems. Laws, originally meant to guide justice, have turned into rigid frameworks of right and wrong, often applied without room for human context or reasoning. Justice has become about rules for their own sake, not about fairness or compassion. So, what does this have to do with AI? Everything. This systemic, process-driven way of organizing society has laid the foundation for machine-based decision-making. As we continue to let computers determine who gets access to what, we create increasingly rigid systems. Systems where there's less space for human judgment, nuance, or alternative ways of thinking. This structure doesn't just influence behavior, it shapes our thinking. People begin to conform to collective norms and accepted truths, often without questioning them, simply because the system leaves no room for alternative views. It may look like unity, but it's actually conformity. At some point, more and more people start to feel uncomfortable with the direction humanity is heading. In response, we look for someone to blame, they or AI. But the truth is, it's not just them. We, as a collective, have given away our power by accepting these systems and relying on them so heavily. You can see this in everyday life. Think about how many internet-connected gadgets we use. Smart appliances, advanced cars, wearables, phones, all often linked to apps. These technologies offer comfort, yes, but they also increase the influence companies and governments have over our lives. Maybe you see what I mean. Maybe you need more time or experience to feel it for yourself, and that's okay. But if we want to change the course we're on, we need to shift from being passive followers to active co-creators. How do we do that? The first step is to take responsibility. Ask yourself, what systems and technologies do I rely on, and how do they shape my daily life? The second step is to reconnect with your unique blueprint. Each of us has individual talents and inner knowing, but many of us have been conditioned since childhood to fit in rather than stand out. Discovering your authentic self requires an inner journey, one that only you can take. Fortunately, you don't have to walk it alone. There are many tools, teachers, and spiritual practices that can help. It doesn't matter which path you choose, because all genuine paths lead to the same destination: unconditional love, and the power to live as a co-creator rather than a follower. So in short, my message is, don't fear AI. It's already here and deeply integrated into our lives. The real issue is how we, as individuals and a society, have allowed ourselves to be shaped by rigid, automated systems. Instead of being passive users or victims, we should use AI consciously and responsibly, while staying grounded in our human creativity, critical thinking, and individuality. The path forward is not resistance, but intentional co-creation, using technology as a tool, not a master. Let's combine human creativity with AI.